Hey, it's James Raby. We have to say something here, but I don't want to say much. Thanks for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show, Radio On Demand podcast. Love you. After 2 o'clock. Good morning. It's Y105 FM's Early Morning Show. My name is James Raby, and it's time for the smile of the day. This is a long-term kindness. Southwest Airlines employees, they watched a passenger's pet. Yeah, but not just for like an hour or so. 2 Southwest Airlines employees from Tampa, named Ishmael and Jamie, recently looked after a passenger's fish. Kira ended classes in May and was flying home when TSA agent said, you can't take your pet fish on the flight. And Kira's like, what? So Ishmael and Jamie agreed to watch Theo over the summer. Of course you named your fish Theo. Why not? The couple ended up buying him a bigger fish bowl. Kira recently returned to school in Tampa, thanked Ishmael and Jamie for watching Theo by giving him a gift card. That is some serious kindness. Oh, we'll watch your fish. Don't worry. What? That's awesome. That really is just person-to-person kindness. You're listening to Y105 FM's Early Morning Show. On the way, the news. So it is a beautiful and industrious Friday morning. I'm just trying to get all the microphones switched on here. In the studio, I have Matthew from NAMI, Southeastern Minnesota. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning, James.
And someone who used to be on the air all the time from NAMI, Southeastern Minnesota, and is finally returning, Courtney Lawson. Friends of Courtney. No, Courtney, good morning.
Good morning.
You are you're walk motivated this year.
I am.
That's what you're doing with the NAMI? All right.
Stoked, yeah.
Well, so we want to get to know you better, and we're going to play a game. ALF came out this week in 1986, debuted on NBC. So we're going to play ALF Fact or ALF Fiction. All right?
This is right up my alley.
You've watched a ton of ALF.
Oh, yeah.
All I do is watch
Being
Elf.
born in 1990, this is right in my wheelhouse.
Well, sorry I didn't give you a chance to bone up on it. During most of the filming, Matthew, the cast was high. ALF Fact or ALF Fiction? During the filming, the cast was high.
That sounds like an Alf Fact to me.
It is. They were 4 feet off the ground, so the puppeteer could do his thing with Elf.
Nailed it.
See? Nice. Nicely done.
Good job.
All right. This is up your alley, Courtney. Elf loved beer. ALF Fiction or ALF Fact?
Elf Fact.
Correct.
Yes.
He drank it a lot in the first season, but then kids loved the show, so they made him stop drinking beer.
That's a bummer.
Elf is part of the Marvel Universe. ALF Fact or ALF Fiction? Matthew?
Ooh. I like the Marvel Universe. I'm going to... Alf Fiction.
That's fact.
Dang.
Marvel put out a 50-issue series starring Elf.
50.
Which means we could see him sometime with Iron Man, right?
Can hardly wait. I really hope that happens.
Courtney, Elf wanted to take part in NAMI Walks, but in his day, he couldn't do it his way. Is that Elf Fact or Elf Fiction?
Oh, that is an Elf Fact.
It's true.
Yes.
It's different now. You can do it any way you want to.
You can. Your way.
So on
You can
Saturday,
do it
you don't
here,
have
you
to
can
be
do
at
it
Silver
there.
Lake. You could be at somewhere else.
Totally.
That's
it's
wild.
your way. You're the boss. You're in charge, just like Elf.
Just like Burger King.
Exactly.
And finally, Matthew, all the workers belong to the Mayo Lodge. Elf Fiction or Elf Fact?
Mayo Lodge. I'm going to go
Mayo,
with...
Mayo-Lodge, like the I don't know, the Elks Lodge, but it's for Mayo.
I'm going to go Elf Fact.
It's true because they all work in the mayonnaise mine. I have never seen more than 2 episodes of this. I had no idea they worked in the mayonnaise mine. I think maybe they were high.
What is a mayonnaise mine?
That must be where Elf is from. I don't know.
That's where they get the mayonnaise out?
Well, obviously you got to have a chip, what is that, a hammer, a sickle, stuff like that. Pull it off the walls.
How were working conditions in that?
I bet they're a bit stale.
Yeah. I don't think I like mayonnaise anymore.
Well, I think I like it more. When they were putting together the new Peace Plaza and all the road was torn up, there were huge pipes that said Mayo on them, and I assumed that was for the vendors. And now I know it was coming from Elf's Planet, delivering mayo to wherever.
There you go.
Just plug into a pipe and disperse mayonnaise.
Forget the oil pipelines. We need mayo pipelines all over the country. We are going to find out more about what's going on with NAMI Walks Your Way on Saturday. That's tomorrow at Silver Lake here on Y105 FM's Early Morning Show with Matthew and Courtney from NAMI this weekend. Saturday is NAMI Walks Your Way. What time are we meeting at Silver Lake? Courtney?
Yeah, Courtney, you want to take it?
9
Otherwise, I'll
o'clock is registration, and then 10 o'clock we're doing a short program, and then we will start the walk.
All right. And Caitlin Alexander from K2TC will be there.
Correct.
Very excited about
And
that.
James
And
Raby.
you.
Oh, I will be there too,
Yeah.
but I'm not as exciting as she is. Come on, she's TV.
You're both very exciting.
All right, I'll take
Don't sell
that.
yourself short.
But she has 2 really cute kids.
Oh, this is true.
They are adorbs. Okay, the question, I was watching Jimmy Fallon, and Tyler Perry was on there, and he was talking about what he would do if he ever came face-to-face with a bear. What would you do, Matthew, if you came face-to-face with a bear?
If I came face-to-face with a bear...
See, have you been trained in media? You repeat the question, and then you give the answer.
Because I'm trying to delay and give my brain some time to think about
it's
this.
Perfect.
Well, if I remember my bear safety training, I think you're supposed to play dead. But I think it would be that's easier said than done if you come face-to-face with a bear to just lay down and play dead. So in my head, that is what I would do.
Okay.
But I would probably hope that I had someone else with me who runs slower than me.
Right.
And then I'd run away.
That is a very good answer. Courtney, what would you do?
So I was going through and I was trying to think of like if you meet a wild animal on the trails, because I'm a trail runner, and so I've read about a lot of this, but I never remember what response goes with which animal.
Right.
But I was thinking that I would act big. Like, I'm big
Right.
and tall, but maybe that's not...
Well,
maybe the bear would feel
you might
very
be right.
threatened.
It depends on the size of the bear. If it was a baby bear, absolutely. Bulk it up. Roar! If it's a squirrel, definitely I think you could scare away a squirrel.
I would probably just be terrified, and I would turn around and run and do exactly what I should not do. That's what
That's the instinct.
That's what I can count on myself for.
I don't know that you could outrun a bear for speed. You run a lot, though, so you have good endurance. I bet you a bear would be just bored chasing you because you're like, she's never going to stop.
Well, this is how humans supposedly got ahead, is that we sweat, and so we can run for longer, and that's how we've survived animals that are bigger and stronger than us.
The real thing you have to keep in mind, though, is how far away from this bear are you to start? Because you want to have a bit of a head start.
They're pretty fast,
Exactly.
too. Yeah. I don't feel like my odds would be good with a bear. I feel like I would definitely do the wrong thing.
I don't know if you ever know this, but I actually did come face-to-face with a bear once.
And what did you do?
Well, I took a different training than you, and the bear said to me, look I can kill you or you can make out with me. And I was like, well, I'll make out with you. Fine. Whatever. I'm not going to die. So the bear and I made out. It was actually pretty decent.
And then you walked away.
And I came back with a large gun thinking I do not want to be taken advantage of again by this bear. So I found the bear, tried to shoot him. He didn't die. He came up, okay, you know the rules. You can either let me eat you or we'll make out. So I made out with the bear again. He had learned some things since last time. And so the third time I came with a grenade launcher because this bear, forget it, man. This is now a contest of wills. Bear's still there. He walks up to me and he says, I don't think you're here to try and kill me.
Yep. I think you just like making out with that bear.
Exactly. Governor Walz responds to critics over $250 million COVID scam next in the Y105 FM Early Morning Show News Minute.
Here's what you missed on the
Walz responded Thursday to critics who say his administration should have done more to thwart a scheme to defraud the U.S. government of at least $250 million. Good morning, I'm James Raby. This is the Y105 FM Early Morning Show News Minute. Walz said the Minnesota Department of Education's hands were tied by a court order to resume food program payments despite concerns the state had raised. And he said the FBI asked the state to continue the reimbursements while its investigation continued. Local news you'll find on the Y105 FM app this morning. A Rochester man was sentenced yesterday to 5 years probation in a child pornography case where some of the offending material was graphically abusive. Earlier this week, a pole shed fire on Herman Court Northeast destroyed between $150,000 and $200,000 in property. And don't look now, but another supply chain shortage is threatening to affect the production of craft beer here in Minnesota. And the rabies shots. Oh my gosh, great parenting at Disney parks. Distractify says people are sneaking tweens and older children into Disney theme parks in strollers to save money because kids under 3 get free, right? Yeah, Disney's expensive. I get it. So don't go. This teaching your kids to cheat isn't helping any of us and is going to bite you in the butt big time. Y105 FM weather for today, it's going to be cloudy, and we have a decent chance of rain starting at 2 o'clock, and then after 3 or 4 o'clock, it's a much better chance of rain. High should be 58. I know, 58. It was just 92 the other day. A chance of showers and 50 tonight. And then tomorrow, sunny. And Sunday, sunny. And then Monday, sunny. And it looks like we're going to be sticking around the 60s and 50s. So that is A-okay with me because that means flannel alert. That's what that means. This is Y105 FM's early morning show. On the way, more with Courtney and Matthew from NAMI. Because remember, NAMI Walks is on Saturday. That's tomorrow at Silver Lake. In particular, I think it was Carney Wilson was going through Alcoholics Anonymous. And she said, you know what? That's some good messaging for a song for young ladies. It is Wilson Phillips on Y105 FM's early morning show. I'm James Raby. I'm so glad to have in the studio this morning, we have Matthew and Courtney from NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness here in southeastern Minnesota. NAMI Walks Your Way starting tomorrow at Silver Lake, a new location, which I'm really excited about.
It's going to be great. The pavilion is so nice, and we have all sorts of fun planned.
Well, and it might rain. Not tomorrow,
No,
though.
it's not going to rain. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, don't you say
It's
that.
going to be the best day of the
I
entire
guess what I'm
year.
saying is the old location, you could always go inside if you had rain. But we're not going to have rain tomorrow. And just Silver Lake is so great. There's so many shelters, and it's pretty.
It is pretty.
Yep.
And you can have an obstacle course. I know you have an inflatable obstacle course, but you could also have a goose obstacle course.
We probably will have both.
Now, Matt, is it true that you are the constant competitor in the obstacle course?
I am a constant competitor in everything, but so that would naturally translate to an obstacle course.
Okay.
And there are going to be 2 lanes on this obstacle course, so we invite participants to challenge staff members, not just myself, but especially probably not me because I'll win. So,
Well, what are the obstacles? Like each one designated like depression, anxiety?
No, but that's not a bad idea.
That's brilliant.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yeah. Woo! We're doing it. Yes.
All right.
Exactly that. And then everybody's going to
Inflatable
overcome
mental
them.
illness.
And that's how NAMI helps.
It's true. We have to-
Overcome those obstacles.
There are workarounds. How do we get around it? How do we stop
Exactly.
doing it? Like just the other day, I used to work around and posted a video on Facebook about it, I think. I hate doing laundry. And when I am not going to be at my sister's house or my girlfriend's house, hello, Diana, the laundry stacks up. I just am crappy at going to a laundromat and doing it, so I dropped it off at Broadway Laundromat that does fluff and fold. It's all taken
Do they
care of.
wash it too?
Or
they just fluff it and
No,
fold
they just
it?
fluff and fold it.
They
in.
just call it fluff and fold, which I don't understand.
Spray a little Febreze on it.
It is always clean, so there must be a washing process. But all I know for sure is it's darn fluffy.
It's fluffed
and it's been
and
folded.
it's folded.
Well, actually, all my T-shirts are on hangers because I'm a guy and it's easier that way.
Yeah,
But
it's true.
that's one of my workarounds. Rather than letting the laundry compile on my floor and then going to the washer and then getting rewashed because I left it there for a few days and then putting it in the dryer eventually and then taking it out. Oh, I'm going to put it on my bed, so I'll fold it. And then, of course, it ends up on the floor again. I just take it to the I know that it's an area of failure for me, right? So rather than deal with that, I just, for $10 more, I have someone else do the laundry for me.
You overcome the obstacle.
I do.
There you go.
You find support.
Right. And let that problem not be a problem.
Love
Even
it.
it might sound small, but it's a great way. So having an obstacle course like that, I think that's kind of brilliant. Well done, Courtney.
Yeah, way to go, Courtney.
It totally wasn't me, but, I'll take the credit. That's fine.
But it's cool. You got an inflatable obstacle course. You got a lot of space for it there. Beautiful sunny day. Not going to be too warm. Not going to be too hot, and not too cold. What else is happening? What do we need to know?
All sorts of things. We're going to have snacks and refreshments. We're going to have vendor booths there as well. We're probably going to be doing a 50-50 raffle. There's a designated dog spot for anyone who wants to bring their dogs as long as they are on leashes. We have some dog treats and information on how dogs help with mental health.
Wow.
And there are going to be some poop bags that you can take as well because you never know.
I think those are there already, though, right?
That's
Or
a
do
good
you
question.
have NAMI poop bags?
I mean, we have unofficially licensed NAMI poop bags. We'll put it that way.
That's a great swag item.
It is because you don't usually find that in your goodie bag.
Yeah.
No.
Nice. If Aaron Galloway is listening, his dog won the Pup Cup Challenge at Little
That
Thistle.
just happened, right?
Yep, it did. The second annual. And so I hope he'll bring out his cutest pup, the best Great Dane you've ever met. You can see pictures of this beast and videos, too, on
Aaron,
the
you
Y105
have
FM
to.
app.
I want to meet this celebrity
Oh, he's
dog.
so awesome.
Yeah, no kidding.
Great Danes are great.
Yes,
Obviously.
Yes.
And the money that you raise, I know what it goes for because I used to be on the board. But I don't think everyone knows that all the different things NAMI does.
Yeah, and all of the money stays locally within Southeast Minnesota. We are the Southeast Minnesota affiliate of the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And yeah, we do have a lot of things going on. We offer support, whether that's support groups or one-on-one peer support for anyone, dealing with mental health challenges, or their family, friends, of individuals dealing with mental health challenges. We have education, training. We're trying to get out into the community, right, just to provide, that support, provide that education, and ultimately make sure that people know that they're not alone in their journey.
Do you mean that people could call NAMI and say, hey, I would love someone to come into my business and talk about, like, it's Suicide Prevention Month, so suicide prevention maybe.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And with an election coming up, we also, and this is outside of elections, of course, but encouraging people to vote for mental health and look at the track records of their elected officials in mental health. So we'll be doing a lot of that over the next month, and just advocating for policy that's sensitive and responsive to people living with mental illness and mental health challenges.
Right. Absolutely. I had something else I was going to ask you, Courtney. I can't think of what it is. Oh, I know. I bet you don't know, Matt, you don't care which.
I don't care which.
That it's Courtney's fault that I'm here today.
Is that right?
It's true.
I think it's your fault, ultimately.
Well, ultimately it's my fault. But I was in a deep, dark place after a really bad breakup for a very long time. And I'd get up the energy to call, back then it was Mayo, and they had a very difficult process to get in. You had to answer a bunch of questions and go online and look at these things you had to check and click and stuff. I just wanted an appointment. So I was frustrated, and I asked Courtney, because one of the things you can do when you are in need of help is, if you got a friend that can help you out, ask for some help.
Yep.
Right? And she asked me, is there anything I can do to help you? I said, yeah, send me a text tomorrow telling me to get in touch with Family Service Rochester or something. And she did. And it was a picture of Sasquatch walking into a clinic that said, sometimes even Sasquatch needs help. And so I made the call. And together with my doctor at Mayo Clinic, who was once whispered to me, hey, you can always come back. It's no shame. We'll never judge you for, not making appointments. We get it. I found my path back to mental health that was strong and good. And that's one of the reasons I'm such an advocate for it on the air and an advocate for NAMI. Even me leaving the NAMI board was an act of self-care. I just couldn't handle the pressure of doing this stuff at the time I was doing it. And everyone there understands. They're like, hey, you're taking responsibility for your life. That's a great thing. So if you can give money to NAMI, even if you can't make the walk, you can still go to NAMISoutheasternMinnesota.org, I assume, and do some good there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's NAMI SEMN.org, or if you want to, visit our walks page specifically, that's NAMIWalks.org/Southeast Minnesota.
Awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me today.
Thank you, James.
It is about time to kick off the 8 a.m. All Music Hour. And coming up in about 10 minutes, your chance to win up to $30,000 with the 30K at work payday on my
candidates to hire.
FM early morning show. They're from NAMI Southeastern Minnesota, and tomorrow is the big thing everyone waits all year long for. NAMI walks your way in Silver Lake, and one of the most important things to know is that if you cannot get there tomorrow, you can walk your way.
You can walk virtually. Wherever you want to be, you can walk.
Right?
Yeah.
Upstairs,
register, set up a page, do a little fundraising.
Right?
Yeah, all the money goes to support NAMI Southeast Minnesota. It stays local, and you can walk in your backyard. You could walk in Hawaii, wherever you want to walk.
Because maybe you can't get there tomorrow. It's like, I knew it was coming, but I forgot about it. Well, make your own walk.
Totally.
Get your kids together, go for a walk, call it good, and put some donation money on your team. And Matthew, you are the new executive director of NAMI Southeastern Minnesota. What do y'all do?
What do we all do? So we do a lot. We offer support groups for those who are either dealing with their own mental health challenges. All right, we offer a safe space for people to share ideas. We also do the same thing for family members and friends of those dealing with mental health challenges, because that's a community that gets forgotten a lot, right? Right. The person with the mental health challenge isn't the only person that's impacted. We also offer one-on-one peer support, so that's a relationship with someone with lived experience with mental health challenges to help a person walk along their own recovery journey. Right. We also offer education, right? Mental health education, throughout the community. That's definitely something that we are trying to build more of.
I think the pandemic really messed that up, going out into the community and doing stuff. But you have a speakers bureau. You have people that can go out and do programs on various things, right? And since it's Suicide Prevention Month, you can talk to folks about how to step up and help folks that might be dealing with the idea of killing themselves, but all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Crisis intervention training, like you said, suicide prevention, question, persuade, refer, just general, almost mental health 101. That's something that I didn't have any mental health education formally or informally until I was in my, late 20s.
Right.
So,
anything else we need to know, Courtney?
I'd say the only other thing is we also do a lot of advocacy work. And so creating policies and helping our elected officials come up with policies that are sensitive and responsive to the needs of people with mental illness.
Right.
And we have an election coming up, and so we'll be sharing some information on how to vote for mental health and look at track records and really create these systems that are friendly to people with mental health challenges.
Right. Dave Senjum is stepping away, so he was a huge advocate for mental health. Absolutely. Make sure you're paying attention to what's going on. Thank you all. That's Courtney
Thank you.
and Matthew from NAMI Southeastern Minnesota. Again, if you cannot get to the walk tomorrow, that's okay. Just check out NAMIWalks.org /
Southeast Minnesota.
There you go.
Are you already exhausted from all of the...
Oh my gosh, I forgot to take my medicine this morning. I take anti-rejection pills every morning because I had a kidney transplant just about 10 years ago now. So if you are an organ donor, thank God for you. If you're not, please consider being one. And even if you are, and you haven't talked to your family about it in a year, remind them you're a donor, okay? Well, give me a second here. And if you can, donate to the Gift of Life Transplant House. They're wonderful people there. All right, let's do rabies shots. This is to some bosses. Entrepreneur Magazine says a Domino's Pizza employee is going viral for quitting with Post-it notes. She's quitting with Post-it notes. Isabella got tired of working weekends alone. She said to her bosses, hey, I can't keep working weekends alone. This is a Domino's. We need people here. She got tired of it, and her bosses said, nothing. Here's 5 more weeks where you're working alone, consecutive weekends. So she recorded a TikTok video in which she showed her last Post-it note. It read, I am a woman of my word, Isabella's 2-week notice. That is so great. That is great. And also a rabies shot to the bosses. Now, I don't know what the situation is. I have no idea. But can you imagine working alone at a pizza place on the weekend? Holy moly. No, that's untenable. So kudos to you and rabies shot to the bosses for not finding a way to make sure you had someone to help you on a weekend. Good heavens. And I have lots of good memories of Domino's Pizza. Yes, indeedy. If you know Joe Olofsson, well, they started with him, best delivery guy in Rochester. Well, he was, not anymore, so you're all good now. It's Y105 FM's early morning show. Michelle has a chance for you to win $30,000. It is the Y105 FM 30K at work giveaway. It's a payday. You could get it. Keep listening.
It's the Y1.
Hey, it's James Raby. Thank you so much for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show Radio On Demand podcast. I hope you'll subscribe and tune in Monday through Friday between 6 and 10 for more fun than you can shake a stick at.